Welcome back to the 100 spin test. In today's episode, number 110, we are continuing the new approach as we dive back into the murky waters of roulette strategies, where promises of guaranteed wins collapse just slightly after the disclaimer appears. Ever wonder if these so-called foolproof strategies can survive real-world distractions and cognitive biases? You're in the right place. Let's find out. Today's test is moving 9 streets from the May 12, 2025 episode of All on Black's YouTube channel. Me and the team over at Intertect wrote an elaborate Python script to scientifically determine the best 9 streets to win. And if it doesn't work? I'll martingale, obviously. Let's engage Mannix 1968 and see what the old chain-smoking mainframe spits out. Looks like we're betting on 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 10 to 12, 13 to 15, 16 to 18, 19 to 21, 25 to 27, 28 to 30, and 31 to 33. I could shuffle the streets around or do something strategic, but honestly, I can't be asked. Moving your bets just gives you the illusion of control. I'm glad that I haven't lost my cynicism of these greasy charlatans. It just reeks of, trust me bro, I cracked the system. Also, click my affiliate link so I can profit from your losses. While you're at it, like, subscribe and turn on notifications so I can keep selling you hope and maybe pretend to be your friend long enough for you to buy a Patreon membership. This kind of content peddles false agency, providing strategies that are basically numerology in a tuxedo, wraps it in the language of empowerment like, learn the secrets, grow your bankroll, and can't lose. Then throws in a full-page legal disclaimer evading accountability when players lose their rent money trying to mimic the spreadsheet kabuki. The test will be run on a European table. There are 27 winning numbers out of 37 total, giving a 27% chance of losing each spin. The green zero beeps a 2.7% cut on every bet. It's a silent but consistent drain on your bankroll. There's no fixed expected loss here because the sequencing of wins and losses directly influences outcome. If we lose 9 in a row, we stop. The table max is 375 units per street and the casino will not let us climb out of that hole. For simplicity and scaling, I've set the unit size to 1 simoleon. If you hit one of those scientifically selected streets, you profit a third of your bet, which is almost as good as winning. If you don't, you lose it. As you can see, the roulette wheel is just one of many tools featured on the dashboard in this video to track the performance of this strategy as it unfolds. The dashboard provides win-loss records, streak data, and a detailed spin history, along with visualizations of key distributions such as individual numbers, colors, odd and even outcomes, high and low numbers, columns, and dozens. These visualizations are included to ensure transparency, allowing you to assess whether the test data is reasonable and free from bias. For more details about this video and a complete archive of all previous videos, check out the links in the description below. Now let's speed things up and watch the progress. I'll be back at the end to summarize. I usually don't like any strategy, but this one is especially bad. I deliberately mangled all on Black Centipede, but still won. That's because I just asked a computer to pick 9 unique numbers between 1 and 12. I put 1 unit on each corresponding street. I reset the bet on a win. Doubled it on a loss. No grand strategy. No bet movement. Just random. The reason I dislike this bet, or any martingale, is simple. All it does is help you dig a bigger hole. Apart from a win on the first spin that nets you a cool 3 units, a win after a loss doesn't recover what you've spent. And the deeper you go into the progression, the worse it gets. But wait, you won. Yes. Yes, I did. And if that's enough to convince you, then you're deep in confirmation bias. I allude to it in the boring caution segment I stick near the end of every video, the one nobody listens to after the first time. A good strategy is consistent over and over. If not, it's just luck. So don't trust one test good or bad. I analyzed the data using routine statistical tests, and here's what I found. On average, it took 1.3 spins to get a win, with a standard deviation of 0.6. About 68% of wins occurred within 2 spins, and all happened within 3. The test was profitable for 95% of the time. When looking at the numbers themselves, we had 2 repeaters. 3 and 32 each repeated once. The hot numbers, those that hit the most, were 20, which hit 7 times, and 3, 18, and 33, hit 6 times. On the other hand, the cold numbers, the ones that never hit, were 2, 9, and 12. There was one streak of 12 wins in a row, 2 of 8, 1 of 7, 1 of 6, 3 of 5, 1 of 4 and 5 streaks of 2 consecutive wins. There were 4 streaks of 2 losses in a row. If we flat bet this, we would have been up 12 units. It just reinforces my opinion that martingale is an amplifier. Let's look at our rankings. We find Mangling Centipede at 33rd out of 133 on raw winnings or losses, and 25th on percent increased or decreased. More detailed information about the data, including hit counts, statistics, and streak information, can be found in the spin data for this test. A link is in the description. Casinos are profit-driven businesses. They're not here to make you rich. They're here to take what you're willing to give. So never accept gambling advice at face value. Always test any strategy with whatever tools you have and check multiple times to weed out unrealistic outcomes. Check if the data was cherry-picked to tell a winning story. Read the critiques. Understand the flaws. Be skeptical. If a creator discourages questions or deletes criticism, that's a red flag. You're not a hater for asking how or why something supposedly works. And yes, some strategies will look like they work for a while, but anything that doesn't hold up over time isn't a system. It's just luck in disguise. Be aware of the risks and only gamble if you accept them. Know your limits and treat every piece of gambling advice, especially the confident ones, with caution.
Good luck until the next time.